children. Today let us see the chapter that is electrostatic. It is nothing but the study of charges at rest. Static means anything at rest. So electron is nothing but your charge carriers. So hence it is nothing but study of charges at rest. This belongs to your 12th or plus 2 science physics, your first unit. Under that, what are the things we are going to study is nothing but the charges when they are in rest, how much force they experience. Second, what about the electric field? Like you say aura. In laymannical language, you say the aura is nothing but the field of a person. Similarly, when you say electric field, that is their aura of electric, means up to how much area the influence is experienced, that is electric field. Then what is potential? Then we will study about capacitor and what is the energy stored in capacitor and their different combination, means types of connections. When they connected in series, what will be the net capacitance? When they connected in parallel, what will be the net capacitance? These are the things we are going to study in this chapter. So let us start first. What is electrostatic? Make a note of it. It is the study of charges at rest, and the related factors are your force experienced by it, electric field, potential, and the charge stored. So let us see what is electrostatic. It is the study of charges at rest. Fine. So now let us see the second factor. What is a charge? What do you mean by the term charge? Tell me, what do you mean by the term charge? I think all of you well versed with the term mass. If anybody asks mass, what you reply? It is nothing but the fundamental property of the matter. Similarly, charge also the fundamental property, or even you can say in very fine way, it is intrinsic property of matter. So your charge is, what is charge? It is the intrinsic property of matter. Intrinsic property of matter. Fine. Now coming to the second concept. So what will be the notation? Like mass you denote as m. Similarly for charge the notation is q. The mass, the unit is kg or gram you say. What about the charge? The unit is coulomb. Or if it is go for smaller units, then it will be microcoulomb. Fine. Then coming about what is the charge of electrons? I think all of you know it is 1.69 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the charge of electrons. Okay. So now let us see what is the difference between this charge and mass. Because we are saying that mass also fundamental property or intrinsic property. Charge also intrinsic property. So now let us see the difference between the two factors. So make the classification. This is your mass. This is your charge. Both is intrinsic property, or even you can say both are the fundamental property or fundamental nature of the material. So on that point both is same. Now where the difference rise? Difference rise that mass is always considered as positive, whereas coming to charge you say that it is positively charged or negatively charged. So hence your charge is of two types, whereas mass is only one, that is positive. Where charge is positive, negative. The second important factor is your mass depends on speed, whereas charge is independent of speed. I hope you have studied in your 11th or plus 1 science that your mass is dependent on speed. What is the formula? M equal to m naught divided by 1 minus V by C whole square. Where what is this m naught? This m naught is nothing but your mass at rest. What is the mass you are finding when the body is at rest? This mass is nothing but the mass whatever you are finding in motion. And it is practically observed that your mass in motion is always greater than your mass in rest. Means, for example, you are sitting and you are now started running. So your running mass is always more than your rest mass, means when you are sitting. That is the concept behind it. How much? It depends on the, means you may think how much kg it will increase. It depends on your velocity, with how much speed you are running. Your velocity V, C is nothing but velocity of light. V is your velocity, C is the velocity of light. So on that factor only your mass will increase. Whereas your charge is independent of speed. Clear about it? So charge is the basic intrinsic property, and your charge, your notation you give as Q, the mass is M. Here the unit is kg, or you say even it as gram. Charge, it is coulomb, or smaller unit is microcoulomb. One more similarity is there. What is that? Mass also scalar, charge also scalar. Charge is a scalar because there is no direction associated with it. Only we say in terms of magnitude, the amount. Hence, charge is a scalar. Fine. Now, there is one important thing is that when you say that charges are positive and negative, so obviously the two types of charges are there, positive and negative. So when you take both same charge, they will repel each other. The opposite charges or positive negative will attract each other. That is the law of nature. Opposite things attract each other. Similarly, the positive and negative charges attracts each other. Clear about the basic concept of charge? Now let us see the concept. You want to charge a body. How the way you can charge a body? There are three methods of charging a body. Let us see how the way you need to charge a body. Make the heading charging. So what are those three methods of charging? The three methods are conduction, induction, and third one is by friction. There are three methods of charging. What are they? By conduction, by induction, by friction. So, see the importance of these methods of charging. All the three methods are used for charging a neutral body. Now, whenever you are charging this body, conduction, whenever you are making the process of conduction, the one body, suppose imagine this is your two body. This body is neutral body. This body is your charged body. Now you want to charge this body. This is neutral initially. So if this is a charged body, you just bring nearer to it so that it will be in contact with the charged body. So whenever a neutral body comes in contact with a charged body, the neutral body becomes charged body. Now the question arises, how the way the charge will be distributed? How much charge here? Now once it is coming in contact with this body, the charges will be equally divided. For example, imagine 2 coulomb of charge is there in this body. This body is neutral. When you bring this charged body to this neutral body in contact, now both the body will be in contact. So the charge transferred from your charged body to the neutral body, or charged body to uncharged body. So now both the body having 1 coulomb charge. Similarly, if it is 5 coulomb, after contact, it will be 2.5 coulomb, it will be 2.5 coulomb. So charge will be equally distributed whenever it is coming to the point of charging by conduction. So it is a method of charging by being contact. So what you write for conduction? It is a method of charging by contact or contact charging method. Induction, it is induced. So it is without touching or without being contact, the body is charged. So hence it is called as induction method. So this is without contact. So without contact, if a body is charged, then it is called as induction. Okay. I'll explain one by one. Now coming to friction. When you take one body, another also neutral. Both body is neutral. You just keep on rubbing. What will happen? There will be friction or rubbing. Due to that, the body will be charged. That is called as charging by friction or charging by rubbing. Now let us see one by one. This is, for example, is a charged body. First one case I am telling. This is charged body. This charge is Q. Now you bring one neutral body. When you bring this neutral body and both is now in contact, initially it is 0. Now it will be charged. So how much now the charge? Initially it was Q. So now it becomes Q by 2. This is also Q by 2. This is your charging by conduction method. Clear? Same charge will be induced, and whatever the charge of the charged body, that amount will be equally divided or equally distributed between the two bodies. Clear? Coming to second, induction. So in the case of induction, what will happen? Your second case, see. Suppose a body you are taking it as, here a body is there. Now this body is neutral. You take one rod which is negatively charged. This rod you are taking, it is negatively charged. So when you are taking this body as negatively charged, what will happen? Nearer to it, the positive charges will be induced. This body is negatively charged. Nearer to it, opposite charges will be induced. And opposite to it, again negative charges will be induced. So in induction, you can see the body is charged without contact, or when the body will be in vicinity of it without touching the charged body. The neutral body will be charged. But the opposite charges will be generated or produced. But coming to your conduction charging method, same charge will be induced. If it is positive, it will be positive. If it is a negatively charged body, then the same negative will be charged to the other body. Whereas in the case of induction, opposite charges will be induced or generated. If you are taking a positively charged body, it will induce negative. If you take negative, it will induce positive to that side. Again, opposite side, it will be oppositely charged. Now my question is, I want to charge a body completely positively. I don't want this negative charge in this side. Now what I need to do? Simple. If I put one earthing here, what will happen? I think all of you know the earthing means. Earthing is nothing but the transfer of the charges or the separation of the charges from that particular point to the ground. Clear? So whenever I put this earthing and keep this, what will happen? These all negative charges will be grounded. Keep this rod till it will be completely discharged this side to the ground. After that, now remove this charging body. This positive charge, what will happen? It will just distribute uniformly throughout the body. You remove the earthing, you remove the charged body. Now it will be uniformly distributed throughout the body. So now my body is positively charged. Clear the concept? How you are doing the by induction. Now coming to friction. Friction I already told you, no simple concept. Suppose you are taking a glass rod and another you are taking some for. Then you are start rubbing. So what will happen? Your glass rod becomes positively charged and your for becomes negatively charged. If you bring these two together, what you will find? If you bring this positively charged for a rod, glass rod, this is your negatively charged for. It will be positively charged, it will be negatively charged. You can experience this. When you bring it together, they will start to attract each other. Then only you will confirm that okay, they are positively charged. This is the method by rubbing. So in the method of conduction, same charge will be induced. In the method of induction, opposite charges will be induced. In the case of friction also, opposite charges will be induced. Clear? These are the three methods of charging. Now let us see the next topic, that is what are the properties of the charges. So let us see the properties of charges. Make the heading properties. I hope you know there are three important properties of charges. What are they? That is quantization of charge. What is quantization? Quantization is nothing but your charge is always integral multiple of n. N is nothing but a natural number, or even you can say it is a integer. See, electron, you say 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron. For example, I will tell, go and get dusters from the market. How many you will get? Either 1 or 2 or 3. You will not get half duster or quarter duster. Yes or no? So similarly, the charges also, electrons, they are always in the form of 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, integral multiples. So hence what you will write? Your first definition, properties, first one is nothing but your quantization. Make a note of it. What is quantization? Charge is always integral multiple of n. So what you will write? Q equal to Ne, where E is your electron charges. Next, second property is nothing but additive property. What is second property? Additive. Additive, or even you can say it as additivity. What is additivity? It is nothing but, imagine there is a system consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 number of charges. I'll ask you, what is the net charge present in that? Children, tell me. Then what will answer? It is nothing but Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. So what you are doing? Simply it is nothing but algebraic addition of all the charges. So what is the additive nature? The net charge or the total charge is the algebraic sum of individual charge in a system. So what I will write? Q a total, or even you can say it as a Q net equal to Q1 plus Q2 up to Qn. Clear? This is your second property. What is your third property? That is nothing but your simple property. I think all of you know. What is that property? Conservative. So what is conservative law? Conservation law or conservative property. Like for energy you have studied. Energy cannot be created, neither can be created nor can be destroyed. It can only be transferred from one body to another body. Similarly, the net charge always remains constant. Only it will transfer from one body to another. So what is the statement for conservation? Charges always, the net charge always remains constant. So these are the properties of the charges. Now come to the next important law, that is nothing but called as Coulomb's law. Make the heading Coulomb's law. there is a condition in which case you can apply the Coulomb's law. It is applicable only for point charges. Now you have to know what is point charges. See, whenever you are making any experiment, you may take 5 coulomb of charge, 10 coulomb of charge, 20 coulomb of charge. Then how can you know that whether it is a point charge or not? The concept is that whenever you are taking any charge, the charge you just imagine like a shape of sphere or spherical. Then there will be some distance between the two charges. Then only it will experience force. That distance, it is always more than the radius of these charges. If the distance of separation between the two charges is greater than the radius of the charges, then it is called as point charge. Maybe your body will be around 100 coulomb charge. You are taking 100 coulomb charge, 1000 even mega coulomb you take. Still also it will be considered as charged body when you say the distance of separation between them is large. Clear? So it is applicable only for point charge. Clear? So what the law he states that, for example, you are taking two charges. One is Q1, other is Q2. I am taking these two charges. And let these two charges, the distance of separation is R. What Coulomb found that by doing experiment, how much force they are experiencing is nothing but the product of their charges. First he